Hello and welcome! I am Biredu, coach of the Atacama Tyranitars, and today we're going to be showing you the draft analysis for Season 3 of BHDL. I'm so excited to be playing in BHDL for the third time in a row. Hopefully do better than the first two times where I got to quarterfinals and got eliminated there. Um, Never got to face the actually champion during playoffs, so that would be cool this time around. And this is going to be a very special draft for me because after all this time, I, you're gonna see who I am going to be drafting uh, for my season 3 season. So with that said, let's go ahead and check out the rules this time around. I am not the owner anymore of this league. Scorpion is actually going to be being the owner this time around with his team of commissioners, which consists on Emerald Miner, um, Captain Beanard, and Random P. So they put together a really nice league for us to play in, and I'm hyped. I'm really hyped. So let's go and check the rules. So this time, last time we had 8 rounds of regular season plus playoffs, but we got in a situation in where the 8 first teams got in with 5-3 records, so they don't want to repeat that this time, and we're going to go with 9 rounds this time. So this season we're going to be having 105 points to draft between 10 and 12 Pokemon ranging from 19 to 1 point. This is different from last season where we had 100 points. It was actually 5 points fewer, but we had to draft between 9 and 11 months. So this time we are in a tighter budget compared to last time. And now they created actually the 19 tier, a 19 point tier for some months. So it's going to be more difficult to get those stacked teams, those top heavy teams, and we're going to have to scrap our way to make a functional team. Uh, we also have 20 points to choose up to 3 tier captains. Last season it was 18, and this time I think Pokemon from 11 or fewer points can be eligible as tier captains. Last time it was from 10 and less. So uh, we expect to have some more powerful captains this time, but there are certain mons that are banned from Terra, unlike last time. And as I mentioned, only 11 and fewer points Pokemon can be chosen as their captain. So now you know the rules. Let's see who I drafted. I need to explain this. I was chosen as the first pick for this draft. A situation that put me in a really awkward position because I had a plan already, and I felt like the first mon I wanted to pick was not a first pick material, So I was put in the situation in which I had to choose: do I draft a really powerful mon like Dragapult and throw away my plan, or do I go with I had planned? But I had to do it. I had to do what I had planned. And so first off, we are going to be having Excadrill. Excadrill this time is going to be called Sloth. And Excadrill is a really powerful Pokemon. It has a 135 attack stat, a respectable 88 speed, which puts it in a tier which is not so bad, to be honest. But more importantly, it has the ability Sand Rush, which says that its speed actually is doubled under sand. So you might see where I'm going to go from here. So Excadrill is amazing. It gives us access to rapid spin. It's the first part of our Steel Fairy Dragon Core, and with that attack, with that speed that Sand is going to be giving us, this mon is going to be a terror for teams to prep for. I don't usually like doing weather, but this time I had to do it. Excadrill was coming back, and Excadrill, as we all know, is Titar's best friend, so we had to do it. And good thing I picked it first, because I noticed the trainer that was just in second place wanted to pick it as well. So that was amazing on my part. I was really happy I made that decision. I was tempted to leave it for second pick, but that was going to be 30 picks down the route. So no, I had to do it. So hopefully Excadrill does well for us. Amazing rapid spinner, and it cannot Terra. This was I think 16 points. So on the expensive side, but not so much. So next up we have yes, you all know it, Pride, the Tyranitar. So both Excadrill and Tyranitar are going to be shiny this time. I'm not going to be genning my team. I'm going to be training my team from scratch, from week to week. So what can I say about Tyranitar? So the most important thing, first of all, its ability, Sandstream, which sets sand for 5 turns. And if I actually do Smooth Rock on it, it's 8 turns for Excadrill to go and do the most damage you can do. It's like set up sword sands in front of something that is scared of you, and click Earthquake or Iron Head till you can't do anything else. What else is important to note about Tyranitar? Its typing is not so good. It has too many weaknesses, and as you can see, Excadrill and Tyranitar share a couple of weaknesses together, like fighting, ground, water, and I think those 3 are the most important, and something that we will have to fix down the line. But Tyranitar is also a really potent Pokemon, 134 attack, kind of similar to Excadrill. It has a variety of coverage. Its special attack is actually decent as well, 95, and I can get like Thunderbolt, Ice Beam, Flamethrower, Fire Blast, Stone Edge. I got access to Knockoff now, which is really key. Rock Blast if I'm feeling cheeky and want to do something with loaded dice. It learns Dragon Dance. It's an excellent Assault Vester because that 100 special defense boosted by Sand is actually really tough to penetrate from the special side. So this is going to be my main answer to important special moves that my opponents are going to be bringing against me. So it's nice to draft you again, Titar. You did amazing for me at SDA during the first rounds, and then you stopped doing so well for me. But that's all right. You did your job. You will facilitate the job of Excadrill. So next up we have Walking Wake, Wrath. You're going to be you probably are wondering why I drafted a Walking Wake on a Sand team, which is, to be honest, a little weird. I'm not going to lie. But what I wanted about Walking Wake is its typing. So as you see, I'm kind of weak to grass. I'm super weak to water so far, and I needed to fix that. So Walking Wake is 4 times resistant to water. It has an amazing, a good speed tier in 109, which is above average, and a good 125 special attack. It also, in the last DLC, I think, or during the Kitakami one, got access to Flip Turn, which will allow me to pivot around. I got access to Knockoff as well, so that's some more utility. And the ability of this thing, which is the thing that gets boosted by Sun, I can't remember its name now, actually lets me protect against teams that want to counteract my Sand with their own weather. So that's super good. They will be afraid, or they will think twice before trying to bring either Sun or Rain against me if I have this Walking Wake. So I'm really excited to use it. I never used one before, so let's see how Wrath does for us. So next up, we have a mon that I've been loving to use both in OU and in UU, and it's one of the most used mons in UU, I think, as well. I think it's like fifth in usage. So this is Tornado's Therian. Uh, it has an amazing speed tier. It's actually the fastest mon on my team, as you will see later, and it has access to one of the best abilities a Pokemon can have in this game, Regenerator. More importantly, it also has access to U-turn. So I can come in with this thing, take a hit, U-turn out because I'm fast, and so on. This gives me constant mobility to keep my momentum going, to maybe bring my Tita safely, to maybe bring my Excadrill safely to spin or something. So its some offensive capabilities are not so good, 100 in attack and 110 in special attack, but they're not bad, and its defense and special defense are okay as well. This thing can carry an assault vest and be really bulky. This thing can carry heavy duty boots and not get bothered by rocks, although you have regen, so this is not so important too many times. It also has access to Nasty Blood, to Taunt, has access to Grass Knot, Hurricane, Sludge Wave, I think. So has Heat Wave, importantly, because you can hit Steel types that way, which you cannot hit by going for Hurricane of Liquid Storm. And I'm expecting this thing to be great. This is the first time Tornado's T is actually drafted in BHDL, if I remember correctly. But if not, I plan on using it on the best of its capabilities. So Tornado's Therian, good speed tier, good bulk, good coverage, and a really good toolbox for the team. Next up, we have our first Terra Captain. So I noticed Rowler, the coach who was next to me, was also picking Sand. They had picked Hippowdon and Landorus Incarnate, and Hstone is actually really good in Sand because it also has the ability Sand Rush. Its speed gets doubled under Sand. So I was afraid that Rowler could pick this before me, so I decided to go for this super early. Hstone's stats are not so good as you see here. It's mediocre in pretty much all its stats, but its defense is decent. It also has access to Fluffy, which make all contact moves that hit for half damage. But as a trade-off, fire type moves do more damage to you. We actually might use that ability sometimes, but I think we are going to get the most use of Sun Rush because Poltergeist, which is the stab move for Houndstone, has very few resistances, and with double the speed and maybe slapping a choice band or a life orb into this thing, it will be doing a lot of damage. I will have to be careful though, as you saw, three of my first 4 months actually can carry knockoff. So sorry about that. With Poltergeist, I kind of need these mons to the opposing mons to keep their items. So I need to be careful with that. It also gives me access to priority in the form of Shadow Sneak, which I don't think I need so much because my team is fairly fast, as you have been seeing, with 2 Sand Rushers and the Tornadoes. Also, it gives me access to Will-O-Wisp in case I need to cripple something. So that's it for Houndstone. Let's go for our next pick. So our next pick is actually the legendary bird Moltres. Why did I pick Moltres? I actually needed this typing for to counteract maybe the ground weakness that my team had. And Moltres is a fairly solid Pokemon. Look at those stats. Amazing special attack, and overall very balanced between attack and all its defenses. Yeah, it's actually also going to be my Terra Captain, so I don't have to worry much about stealth rocks or rock type attacks. That's really good. In case I don't want to bring Hstone or an offensive Hstone, this thing is going to be an amazing tier captain for me. So that's it with Moltres. Also, more importantly, Moltres can roost, can actually U-turn. It's also another piece of mobility, which forms a core with Walking Wake and with Tornadoes. And with the last DLC, it got access to Scorching Sands, which will allow me to hit rock types, and also has the ability to burn our opponents. So this thing punishes so much U-turns, the mobility on our opponent's side, because of its flammability ability as well. So I'm just expecting this thing to be a great defensive Pokemon. We have especially defensive mons in the form of Tornadoes and Tyranitar, but now this is going to be a really good defensive one. So next up we have, yeah, you see it, another Generation 1 Pokemon in the form of Vileplume. So as after I saw Lionel put on so much work against me with an Vileplume, strength sapping all over the place and being all annoying with sleep powder, I decided I need to try this thing. So this gives me an amazing grounded poison type. It also is a resistance to grass and to water, which my team is weak to. And look at that special attack. It has a 110, which is fairly good. Really bad speed, but this thing has access to chlorophyll. So if the position wants to bring weather against me, trying to counteract my sand, I could actually come with a chlorophyll if they're not prepared and try to sweep them from there, or be really nasty with sleep powder. Fast sleep powder is really good actually, and it also has access to the ability effect spore, which also punishes U-turn and flip turn and or all monsters that want to touch this thing, threatening to paralyze them, poison them, or put them to sleep. So that's super good. And the defenses of this thing is actually pretty good in 85 and 90 respectively. So I think this defensive mod has a lot of utility for the team. Strength up is an amazing ability move, and I'm sure I can make this thing work and make Lionel proud of the team. So next up we have Rotom Frost. So I was sniped of Rotom Hit. I actually wanted Rotom Hit instead of Moltres because of that immunity to ground and being a fire type. But I actually noticed I needed an electric type as well, because one of the only counters to Excadrill are grass and also flying types, and this thing covers them so well with Blizzard, which honestly is not such a great move, but it can be good in a pinch, and also with Thunderbolt to hit those flying types for a lot of damage. So what else is to say about Rotom Frost? Its typing suck. I will probably slap the heavy duty boots to this thing many times throughout the season, but it's a well-rounded Pokemon. With the DLC, it got access to what is the name of the move? Pain Split to get some recovery, but it also has access to Will-O-Wisp, to Thunderwave, to Discharge, to Volt Switch to form the core with Tornadoes, Walking Wake, and with Moltres. So gives me mobility, gives me an answer to water types that want to threaten my Tyranitar and my Excadrill, and gives me access also to the grass types that want to threaten them as well. So I think Rotom Frost is going to be doing great for us this season. Hopefully I don't have to trade it away after I said all these great things about it. The only thing pulling it back is its typing, which is not so great defensively, but I think it's worth to have it. I also wanted to use a Rotom Frost for a while. I never could make it work in RU, or I think it was UU that I was trying during the BDSP era, but now it's the time. I will believe in you, Rotom Frost. So let's go for the next pick. So as you can see here, I drafted Carbing, which is going to be another one of my tier captains. Carbing, this little cute rock, is something that will complete my Dragon Fairy Steel Core. Uh, Albeit it's not the strongest fairy that I could have drafted, but I got sniped of Tinkaton, which was originally my plan. But why did I draft Carbing? One, it was a 2-pointer, I think, really, really cheap. It has amazing defenses. So check out the 115 defense and special defense. It has access to Trick Room, which could be useful in a pinch if I want to spice some things up and bring like offensive Titar. Titar would be great under Trick Room, for example. It also gives me access to um, Stealth Rock and Spikes. Albeit I already had Stealth Rocks on my Excadrill and Tyranitar. Maybe I don't want to bring that move on them, and I think Carbing could be great at hazard stacking. I even have a spin blocker on Hstone, so that's important. And being a rock type, uh, that 150 special defense actually gets boosted to an amazing base special defense of 225. I had to, if I'm calculating correctly. So that's super amazing. That coupled with the fact that this mon learns body press and iron defense makes it for a really strong setup sweeper. I know Red Pudding official won't like this this pick. He actually got swept by a Carbing, which I know he's not proud of, but hopefully Carbing will put the work I think it will put for me. So I think my Terra captains are really solid. One is a defensive one in the form of Moltres, and the other two are going to be offensive ones. Um, Carbing as a defensive setup sweeper, and Houndstone as a fast physical sweeper. So let's see how we do with this. Next up we have Azelf. Azelf is going to be our last pick. I actually plan to draft an Anchor user in the form of Illumise or Volpit. However, they both got picked in the last round for by other coaches, so I had to improvise here, and I was kind of lost on what to bring. I wanted actually an Anchor prankster user as a safe valve against my opponents, but I figured Ace also learns Anchor. It's really fast, so it can act as a prankster mon for that matter. Um, and Ace also is immune to ground, but it worsens a little bit my weakness um, to a ghost. I will have to have that in mind, but hopefully teacher can handle the ghost really well, and my tier captains as well. So what's good against about Aesop? Look at those 125 attack and special attack. This thing is a monster on the offensive side because you can do mixed sets and not sacrifice too much actually, which is super cool. It also has access to U-turn, which is another pivoting move, forming a really good core with my other mons. And the coverage that this thing can bring is amazing. I mean, you can bring, I think, Psychic, can bring Shadow Ball, Grass Knot. I think you have access to Fire Blast, Thunderbolt, Drain Punch, Ice Punch. You name it. You have coverage for anything you will possibly want about this thing. So, with that being said, guys, I wanted to say goodbye to you. Hopefully, we will do great this season. I hope that you continue to follow our journey throughout BHDL 3, and that's it. Please, if you like the content, hit the like, subscribe, and the notification icon so you get my notifications when I upload a video. And check out the other coaches that will be uploading in BHDL. So, with that being said, guys, thank you for coming. See you.